Hi everybody, and welcome back to the Pokemon Black Let's Play. You remember last time we left off with the gym leaders, who I have yet to fight. So the first thing that we'll be doing in this Let's Play is we'll be getting the gym battle out of the way. As you remember, the gym leader here is Fire type, because I started with grass. And this gym will always pick the type that's strong against your starter. Now we're going to be challenged by Gym Leader Chili instead of Cress or Stillen. Stillen, I think that's how you say it. And he's going to start with a Lillipup. So I'm going to use Roland for most of this fight. I say most. Roland will eventually not be used. It will start off with a Bite. Bite's quite useful in this fight if you can go first, obviously because of the chance to make your opponent flinch, like we just saw there. A good tackle spam will finish this off. This Lillipup's really not too difficult. So, the Lillipup's down. He's now going to use Pansear. And this is why we have Kettle. I'm not going to use Kettle, however. Can't use Bite, I'm not fast enough, so it's going to use Incinerate and burn our Berry, which is not very helpful. And Bite doesn't do that much damage anyway, so we'll tackle it. He's going to spam Incinerate, and that's literally all this Pansear is going to do for the entire fight. Got a good critical hit there. Should be able to finish this off in one hit if we get really lucky. Oh, no. I'm going to use a potion then. The chance our Chili is probably going to use a potion as well, so no big deal really. Yeah, there you go, he's going to use a potion. God damn it. Never mind. It's not a particularly hard fight this if you have the right Pokemon for it though, so I'll go back to tackle spam. It's going to count on spamming Incinerate. And it's quite useful that Roland has a calm nature actually, it means he's got pretty high special defense, so his Incinerate really isn't doing very much. Plenty of HP. Should be alright for this. Let's see, Incinerate. Yeah, get on with it. Oh crap. Oh well. Never mind. Yeah, I told you that it would not be using Roland for the entire fight, and that's why, despite the fact that he's very lucky with critical hits, his Karma has to get him eventually. We'll use Force. It's not going to take that much to knock out the Pansear, and I'd rather Force got the experience instead of Kettle. Obviously, Forced Zoran Berry's just been burnt up as well, but the fight's over, Force gets a level, and Gym Leader Chili has been beaten. I think Force also learns Growth here, there we go, so we'll get Growth and put it over Wrap. Wrap's a pretty useless move, I've not found any use for Wrap in the game. So, Force now knows Growth, now level 13, and we've just got our first Gym Badge. You get 1,680 for that, so a pretty decent amount of money. There we go. Isn't that pretty? And the game really does like to encourage you and tell you how good you've been getting a gym badge with the epic music. Putting it away in your case. So, I get to talk to... I don't quite know why they changed up actually. I guess maybe Stillen's the leader and the other two were just sort of there. We get TM83, which is workup. Don't need to use that. The cool thing about TMs in this game, and Stillen mentioned it just there, but the cool thing about TMs in this game is that when you use them, you can actually keep them and then use them again later, instead of having them disappear on first use. So basically, TMs and HMs become one and the same. And it's kind of useful. So, with the gym leader beaten, we go outside and we see Fennel waiting for us. If you remember, we were told that Fennel was in this city and that we should probably go say hi because she's a friend of Professor Juniper's. So, Fennel's going to take us to the upstairs of this building. I think it's an apartment complex or something. That's where she is. And she's basically going to blather on about stuff and what she's doing and what she wants. And she's going to send us to the Dream Yard after giving us Cut so that we can get through to the Dream Yard. You remember that there was a bush that was in the way. So, we're going to teach Cut to Kettle so that we can get through into the Dream Yard. Let's go... Oh, before we do that actually, let's talk to this chick. You remember that Bianca mentioned the PC box, and it's called Someone's PC. This is the chick who basically made the box system in this game. So if you talk to her after you've gone and spoken to Fennel, you can get the name up on your box. Also go quickly heal, because Roland is still fainted. So we'll go heal him up, we'll teach Kettle Cut, and then we'll go back to the dream yard, and we'll see if we can find this dream mist that Fennel's looking for. Not that much Poke Center spam today, guys. I'm sure you'll be happy to hear that. That's it. Let's see. There we go. There's our HM. We'll teach this to Kettle. And when we get Surf, we'll probably teach Surf to Kettle as well. It's not always recommended to have an HM slave, since eventually you end up switching them back and forth and back and forth. But, we do what we can, you know. HM slaves are certainly better than ruining potentially good movesets on your actual Pokemon that you use. And you can always change Pokemon at towns, so it's never really a big deal. Right then, to the Dream Yard, where we actually got Kettle. We'll be catching a Pokemon here as well, just so you know in advance warning. We're going to use Cut. There we go. And that bush is now never going to be back again, which is really kind of nice. Hi, Bianca. And she's obviously been sent here by Fennel as well, so she's looking for the Dream Mist Pokemon. And she's just wondering how dreams work. But what was that? It was a noise! And she heard it as well. So let's go see what the noise was. Oh, you see that? I see it. Do you see it? It's a Pokemon! It's a Munna. We're actually going to be trying to catch one of these guys after we've done this. But first things first, who are these guys? These guys with the weird hat, ginger hair. See, Bianca's thinking the same lines as I am. Team Plasma. Isn't that the same team that Gets This guy belonged to? Oh, dear me. Kicking a Pokemon to give out Dream Mist. That's so mean. You're right, Bianca, that is mean. So we get a little rundown here of Team Plasma. The first team in any of the generations to actually physically abuse Pokemon in front of the player. And they were kicking that Munna to try and get it to give off Dream Mist. And we now get to battle these two Team Plasma grunts. What do I think about Team Plasma? I think that they have the most amazing music ever. I'm going to say that right now. But as far as the team goes, I don't know, they're pretty weak. I think the music is particularly epic because you actually get a lot of Team Plasma fights, one after the other, after the other, after the other. I mean, there's not even a break between most of them. So they have to give you something epic to listen to, otherwise you'd get really bored of beating Team Plasma grunts. Dude, check out that uniform. Is he wearing a skirt? Nah, this kind of whole, oh, I will battle you next thing, it happens a lot in this game. But thankfully the music's kind of awesome, so it's cool. She's going to use a Purloin. Still no problem. Roland will eat the kitty cat. There we go. So, yeah. Then Team Plasma basically revealed to us, I don't know if you managed to read it, I was going kind of fast to the text, but they basically revealed that they're fighting to free Pokemon. So they're definitely related to that N guy we saw earlier, and that Gets This guy we saw earlier. Speaking of which, they look related, don't they? Gets This and N. I wonder what their story is. I tackle spam here when I probably should have used Odesleuth. But I wasn't thinking when I was doing this fight, I was just kind of tackle spamming for the sake of tackle spamming. We eventually get a hit anyway, it just takes longer than it should have done, as I was being quite stupid. There we go, see. And the fight's over, and my stupidness is at an end here. One thing I've noticed about Plasma grunts is when you beat them, they seem to scream out about Plasma! There they go, kicking that Munna again. Lagasp! Gets this! Two gets this! Gets this? Gets this? Gets this? Get. No, what's the plural for gets this? Gets this? Doesn't sound right, does it? Oh, whatever. trying to control people by tricking them with speeches? The gasp! Do you mean to say that Ghetsis is not as honest as he seemed? Oh, plot twist! Who would have thought? Ghetsis has disappeared, and this strange Pokemon has come out. What could this be? Ghetsis appeared all over the place. It wasn't real, right? Unlike it's Fennel. And she tells us what this Pokemon is. It's a Musharna. And a Munna. And they leave a Pokeball. Bianca doesn't do a very good job of explaining, does she? Ah, there we go. Musharna evolved from Munna. So that basically tells you if you catch a Munna, it evolves into this. It's a Pokeball, not Dream Mist. A small nitpick at the games. Yeah, never seen an item. It's always a Pokeball. It never actually looks like a potion or anything else. So I'm going to go around and collect the items that are around here. There's, I think, a potion and a paralyzed heal and a Pokeball and something else, if I remember rightly. I won't run away from any of the wild fights here. It's a pretty good experience. We'll get through this Purloin. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try and find a Munna, because they are the first psychic type that you can get in this game, and based on a previous playthrough on one of my black versions, they're actually really quite useful. And we'll get the Moonstone as well to evolve it pretty soon in the game, so it's a useful Pokemon. So I will be right back when I find myself a Munna, guys. Alas! I found a Munna. It's a female, it's at level 8. So, I'm gonna try and catch it. You'll notice that while we've been off screen, Ryland's gone up a level and he's nearly at level 16 now. There's a lot of wild Pokemon before I managed to find this Munna. We'll toss a Pokeball at it. Can't see how many I have. I think I have 7 Pokeballs there. So, we'll throw one of those at the Munna. And it should stay in. Pretty easy to catch Pokemon at this level. There we go. Munna was caught. Marvellous. And Munna's data was added to the Pokedex. Munna always float in the air. People whose dreams are eaten by them forget what their dreams have been about. Oh, that's funny. And most people don't remember their dreams anyway. We'll give this Munna a nickname. I think I'll call it Resonate. Bit of a long name for a Pokemon, but no worries. Sounds cool. Go, Resonate, yeah! And let's take a look at our new Munna. Let's see what its stats are like. So there's Resonate, we'll have a look. And it has... oh dear. Oh, it's got an Adamant nature. It's not very good. You can see that an Adamant nature increases attack but decreases special attack, which isn't really any good for a Psychic Pokemon. I'm going to have to catch myself another Munna, I think. That's not acceptable. So, do you know what this calls for? This calls for another cut! I'll be back when I find another Munna to catch. I'll see you guys in a minute. Ah! We found another Munna. Brilliant! And this Munna is also a female. This one's at level 10. And this one also knows Forewarn instead of Synchronize. Which is kind of a shame. Forewarn, in all intents and purposes, it's not really the best kind of ability that a Munna can have. I would have rather had Synchronize. But if this one has a good nature, I'm not gonna mess around and catch, 50 different Munnas until I get one that's synchronized in a good nature. I think I'm being a little bit too picky as it is, since this is meant to be a simple Let's Play. You'll notice as well, if you look to the left of your screen, Roland has actually evolved. We got quite a lot of wild Pokemon in between the last Munna and this Munna. So, Munna was caught. And we're going to give a nickname to this Munna, and we're going to call this Munna, let's see. We'll call this Munna Vivette. I like that name, Vivette. It sounds pretty cool for a psychic Pokemon. So, get the nickname out of the way. There we go. And we'll check out Vivette stats, and we'll see if we can keep her. I'm gonna have to keep one of them either way, so let's have a look. And she's got a calm nature, which is good. Calm increases special defense while decreasing attack. And it's not like a Mooner is going to use its attack stat anyway, so that's cool. Special defense is always brilliant. It means we've got a nice tank Pokemon. So, yeah, there's also Roland there as well. He's now level 16 and Force is now level 14, so we obviously got some leveling outside of trying to find our Mooner. And he also knows Takedown now, instead of Leah, which was there. So, we're gonna go and heal up at the Pokemon Center. Excuse me. Because, obviously, Roland, Forced, and Vivette are a little low on HP and can do some healing. And then we're going to go and drop by Fennel, who told us to come and see her again after sorting out everything in the Dream Yard. We're also going to have to release Resonate. Can't keep the spare Mooner, it's not going to do anything for us, so goodbye! There we go. And now we've just left with Vivette, the only Mooner on our team. We'll be using Vivette a lot. I might do some off-screen leveling to try and get her up to 12 or 13, so that she can start appearing in the team as well. And she'll probably be used semi-regularly. I found Mooner to be quite useful in my last playthrough. So, we're all healed up. We're going to go and say hi to Fennel again and see what she wants. I do believe it should be that she gives us a sea gear. So, we'll get this out of the way. This is basically a bunch of drivel that we don't need to listen to, and I would avoid it if I could. There's a man that stands outside of Stratton City, and he won't actually let you leave until you've spoken to Fennel. So, we've just obtained the sea gear. We're not going to bother turning any of the functions on. It doesn't matter since I'm on an emulator. And she's going to give you a little bit of thing about the game sync. You can say no there, and then she'll just explain anyway, because I guess you have to know about that kind of thing. So you can tell her that, no, I don't want to know about this shit that you're telling me, and she'll tell you anyway. You get your PAL pad here as well, so basically all of your Wi-Fi functions and internet functions you get here in this game, and then from that point on, if you want to go to the dream world through the internet or connect through Wi-Fi, you can do that. So, with Fennel out of the way, we can now actually leave the city. Hooray! So, let's get going. On the next route, there's 2 Pokemon that we're going to catch. Yes, you heard me correctly, 2 Pokemon that we're going to catch. So, we'll go up here. Oh, that's the dude, by the way, who stops you from leaving the city, if you don't go see Fennel. Anyway, up onto Route 3. And that's it for this part of the Let's Play, guys. We've beaten the gym leader, we've got a new Pokemon onto the team, we've got our first 8 gem and TM, we've got our C gear, which we're never going to use, and that's it. There should be another setup later today, I hope. I'm sorry for keeping this one waiting. I'll see what I can do. I'll try and get it up later today. No promises. Keep a lookout for it, though. Until next time, guys. Next time, even, if I could speak. Bye.